Yay.
You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. I think there's something in the water. If you wanna take a sip, but be careful what you wish for. The faint of heart can't handle it. Everybody wants a piece of someone else's prize, but it ain't free, it don't come cheap. Only the strongest will survive. You ain't seen nobody like this.
Good evening and welcome to San Antonio Soccer Roundtable. My name is Harry. Joining me tonight is Royce. How are you, Royce?
What's up, everyone? I'm so happy to be here. It's been a long season. It's been a fun season, and this is the good part. This is where we have the most fun. So let's have fun. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's talk about this.
It's the money season, as I labeled the show here. Unfortunately, Rafa is North Austin, somewhere, not in San Antonio working. So unfortunately, he's not able to make the show. Robert is trying to figure out ways for the Vikings to trade for Russell Wilson for that here. It's got to improve the team.
Yikes.
Please, somebody take him.
Nobody wants to sleep on that flight, apparently.
Russell Wilson's still running up and down the plane on his way to London. And then Matt's doing Matt things, probably working. Matt's probably warming up for the drums, as you probably see in most of the hype videos. He's on the drums for the supporter section, so I want to thank him and all the Mission City 118, 210 Alliance, and the Crocketeers for all the support that you guys have done in the bunker. And it's get that go time. Starting to see getting everybody a little bit excited. We're actually 24 hours away at this point from it here.
Yes,
Do want to
sir.
start with a shout out to our buddy Aaron. Unfortunately, his fight in Phillies did take out your Cardinals, and then
Dude, they're hot. They're hot, and it's whenever you come into any sport with that type of form, it sucks that the Cardinals got eliminated, but you get why. They're just running through everybody like a hot knife through butter, and the Astros are doing the same thing on the other league. So we'll see. We'll see who comes out on top in that one. But
World Series kicks off tomorrow, so obviously, if you're in San Antonio, you better be at Toyota Field. UTSA is off on a bye week this week, trying to get healthy for UTSA football. The women's soccer has already made the Conference USA postseason tournament. I think they finish up their match Friday night as well at the same time as San Antonio FC. So wish the UTSA Lady Roadrunners much success in their last match. And we'll probably dive into a little bit more on the Conference USA playoffs finals. I think right now they're 6th or 7th seeded, depending on how things shake up, and they play UTEP on Friday night. So if SAFC wasn't playing, I probably would have made the trip. But with the kickoff at 7:30, gates open at 6 o'clock. San Antonio's already announced that they're bringing in the heavyweights, pyro boards, fireworks, and all that fun stuff. Royce, you're looking at tickets right before the kickoff or kickoff of the show. What can you tell me?
I was like, before kickoff, we still got 24 hours. It looks like 24 hours out from kickoff, there might be 100 seats left, maybe on Ticketmaster. There's parts of 4 rows that are available, and then just a bunch of individuals. So, yeah, it's looking like
if you haven't got your tickets, you better grab them.
Yeah,
probably won't be able to get any walk-ups
right now. And yeah, they're going to have the electronic boards. Like you said, they're going to have the pyrotechnics. They're going to have the American Idol or the Voice contestant do the national anthem again, which that will set up, like last year, that will set up just a really good atmosphere and really brings the energy into the field. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night, and the weather should clear up. I think it's supposed to rain.
Rain in the morning.
That'll be something interesting. Rain in the morning, and then it should be clear. From what I read, it's supposed to be completely clear for game time. So, sounds like a nice night. Sounds like an amazing night for soccer. So let's go.
And I'll set this before I welcome Matt to the show. Playoff soccer, dress appropriate. It's not the summer games. It's a little bit chilly, especially with the wind, especially with the moisture that's going to be in the morning.
Cold.
It's not going to be that cold. It's supposed to be like in the 60s, so it's not going to be that cold. But I will say,
cold for San Antonio.
it's going to be nice hoodie weather, and at the same time, it's a blackout. We're blacking out Toyota Field, so wear a black hoodie, and it'll be good.
You have one.
It's going to be perfect hoodie and shorts weather. It's going to be great.
Matt, welcome. Sorry for calling you out.
Matt, I literally just got home.
Your props for the drums and you be resting up.
Nah, man, traffic is horrible right now. Everything is packed.
Everything, dude. It just did.
Well, everything downtown is packed because of Day of the Dead. So
Rafa is in Round Rock. He's trying to get some Austin FC gear, I think.
Wow.
Since his Club America team is out.
No.
I wouldn't even would not associate him with Austin FC, no matter how much I want to dog on him.
I will say Rafa did get a solid opportunity for a good lunch at Bluebonnet Cafe there in Marble Falls. A fantastic restaurant that's been there forever. So,
and he tweeted pictures of the day before. He even sent pictures to my wife on it. The chicken fried steak from one of the restaurants up there as well.
Nice
road trip. The
anyway,
Texan Cafe.
Sure.
So
anyway, we have a little game to preview tomorrow night. So let's jump on that. Tomorrow night we take on
the Oakland Roots,
who went through. Let's quickly wrap up how they got here. A lot of people are saying that they CONCACAF their way through San Diego. No, they got a nice goal. San Diego couldn't break down their defense. They got a second goal, and then San Diego just lost it, and they melted down. So I would put 75% of that loss on San Diego for not being #mentality monsters. So
well. To me, so the scoring opened in the 36th minute with the awesome goal from Charlie Dennis. Right after halftime in the 52nd Lindo Mafika. And you got to call it an error by San Diego. I wonder how much of it was the pitch. Kicked the ball back to the keeper, didn't put enough speed on it.
It looked chewed up for sure, yeah.
And Lindo got it and unfortunately put it in the back of the net to put it 2-0. And then all heck broke loose. Thomas Among got a yellow card for a right foul, 76th minute. Got up, walked towards the Oakland player. I'm assuming it's Jose Hernandez, for that here. Put a finger to his face, may or may not have made contact. I think there probably was contact. The Roots player sold it. He got a his second yellow. And I was listening to Two Balls and a Mic with Alan Underwood on their show with them kind of recapping, because Alejandro Guido also got his second yellow at that same time after they broke up the play. But it was and if you go to the USL reports, because we all thought it was for dissent, him coming to the defense of Among. But it was actually for a serious foul that referee had played advantage, and then went back and gave him his second yellow card, which I thought was kind of odd, but it is what it is along those lines. And then Stoneman did what Stoneman does, and 2 cheap fouls, and he was sent off. So it was 11-on-8, and really for Oakland, they looked to be the better team. I think going in, Loyal didn't have the momentum. I personally think it's a big deal, but Landon Donovan doing MLS commentary on Thursday night doesn't set the best example.
Not at all. Yeah, I mean, the time you should be preparing for a game, you're out And I mean, you get it. The opportunity's cool and all, but at the same time, your team needs you, and you need to prep for this game. And it's pretty obvious that they didn't prep enough. But no, I will say, the first double yellow, it was obvious. Like it was a yellow for he went through the guy, and they were contesting a header, and then he went up to him and poked him in the face. Like it's hands of the face, and whether you slap a dude or barely make contact, it's still hands of the face. It's still a yellow card, and for you to do that, he got up. His teammates tried to stop him. He went around his teammates and still went to the dude and did it. Like lost the plot. And at the same time, if you're Guido and if you're Stoneman, you got to know who the center ref is. And Elton is want to give yellow cards at the end of games. So you got to know who is at center ref, and you got to know what your limits are for your behavior. And man, Elton is one of the, I will give him, he is one of the more consistent refs.
Yes, you know what you get when you play him.
You know what you're going to get, so you need to play that way. And Loyal, they lost it. They lost their composure, and deservedly, Oakland Roots move on to the match we're going to play tomorrow night that we'll preview right now against SAFC here in San Antonio.
So SAFC's played twice against Oakland Roots. First match was 1-1 here in Toyota Field on June 18th. San Antonio had Farr, Tainter, Kamiri, Garcia, Troy, David Larrera, PC, Boo, Connor Monley, Dylan, and Sam. In this match, the Roots came out with Paul Blanchard, and he's a fan favorite here because he can barely stay up. Calmenta, Alejandro Funemeyer, Tariq Morad, Guillermo Diaz, Joseph Nane, Jose Hernandez, Juan Carlos Azucar, Charlie Dennis, who scored the goal, Formella, and Otter Carlson, who
they're Nordic. They're Nordic.
They're Nordic goal scorer. He's who San Antonio needs to focus and take out of the match.
Correct. And if I remember correctly, what happened in the goal that they scored is he held up the ball, and their right winger took it, and he ended up scoring a curler from outside the zone, and that's how they ended up getting their goal. Which
Joseph Nunn,
exactly what that's exactly what Oakland wants to do. Is they want to have their forward hold up the ball, distribute out to one of the wingers, and them to shoot, and either to go to the inline or to shoot from outside. And that's something we need to protect from. And that's how they scored against San Diego, the first goal. So that's something we need to.
Looking at their lineup when we played them September, and this is under the new coach, Noah Delgado.
That's right. Yeah. As a reminder, their former coach, the one we had the 1-1 draw with, is now with Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising let go of their coach. The Oakland Roots coach went to go manage that club, and now the assistant coach, who is now the coach, is now the head coach of the Roots, who played in this game that we won 2-0 away at the Stripe Field in Oakland. Yeah.
And this is the lineup that I personally think we're going to see, with the exception of maybe Garcia coming in one of the center back spots. Obviously, Jordan. They had Manley. They had Kamiri. They had Tainter because this was the time when Garcia was out. Gomez, Boo, PC, Maloney, Sam, Patino, and Pirano. So my only question, this will be a question for you, Matt, and Royce here. I think that's probably the right players, with the exception of Garcia subbing in for either Kamiri or Manley. I'm not sure which one. But do you see them doing the Patino up top, or do you see them doing this, with Pirano and Sam, more behind, or do you think Sam and Patino will be up top and you'll have Pirano more in the middle?
This is the typical formation that Marcina has deployed. This one exactly right here, like you said, it's either going to be Garcia or Manley out wide. I would imagine that it would most likely be Garcia just for the set piece opportunity out wide. But I think this right here is exactly going to be it. Pirano's going to have to occupy that space in defense and then go forward and try to distribute in the offense and have Sam and try to give some service to Sam and Santee. But I think this is what it's going to look like. This pretty much exact formation with the exception of possibly Fabian in for Carter.
So earlier today when on my long drive home, I talked to Rafa about this. I actually see Patino coming in after half, or we both agreed we could see him coming in after half. You would have probably Sam and
Baloney,
I think
Nacho?
Collier.
Or JD. I think it would most likely be
JD over Collier, yeah.
Right. And then later on, you probably have Bailona come in for Sam. So I think you're right. It might be JD, and JD would slot back where Sam is in this formation.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have Sam go up top and be more of the focus striker. I agree. I think that's a good shout. And then later on in the match, like you said, Patino come in and Nacho come in.
If you think about it, Patino would probably change the pace in the second half. That's just me wanting to see them have that pace change second half. That way they don't know what they're coming for. So
that's if we're chasing a goal, though. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it lines up.
So this is how San Diego lined up. So they did the 3-back against us, in the 2 regular season matches. Now against San Diego, which is a high-scoring team. Their defense leaks, but they're offensively they do. So they had Blanchett, Edgardo Rito, Tariq Morad, Funemeyer, Danny Barbil, Juan Carlos Azcar, Lindo Mafika, Joseph Nane, Jose Hernandez, Charlie Dennis, and Otter Carlson up top. So I could see them coming out with this back 5 because I think one of the things that's a stat coming into this, Oakland in their 3 postseason matches has yet to yield a goal so far. So 300 minutes and no goals allowed. I could see them trying to park the bus and make it challenging.
This is exactly what they're going to do. This is going to be their exact lineup. And Juan Carlos Osocar, former RGV player, obviously, there's always got to be one. This is exactly what they're going to roll out.
There's 2. With. There's Blanchard. Well, there's actually Blanchard, Cuzzer, Funemeyer also played. I think Tariq. No, maybe not.
But I wouldn't consider it as a park in the bus. I would feel that as a zone.
No, it's a typical 5-4-1. This is what you'd see from like a Burnley trying to get a result against, in the Premier League. This is the typical formation that they'll be in. And then their wingers, in this case, number 10 and number 12, will go up. They'll go up and provide width, and they'll try to cross it into Carlson, and Carlson will try to drop it off to whichever midfielder goes forward. So it was Nane, I think, scored the goal.
Nane scored the one.
Only goal that's scored against us, so that's who it was at that point. But that's what they typically do is they'll, whenever they're in possession, they'll have their wingers go forward, and Carlson will go try to hold up, and they'll have a midfielder go up. So their system, what they're going to do. I would put money that they're in this 5-4-1, and it's very tough to break down. Have we broken it down before? Yes, we have. So we've seen it, we know it, and we'll just see if we take our chances.
So what's the key to breaking it down? So is it using the height, using speed, taking outside shots? What would you say is the key to doing this?
The X factor and the 2-0 win was Sam Adeniran. Mm-hmm. So, you need to be Sam Adeniran to break this team down. And spoiler alert, Sam Adeniran is going to start tomorrow. So that's what you need to break down. And it's because of how diverse of an attack Sam can provide. He can score in the air. Yeah, he can turn a defender, and that's the biggest thing. That's what he did last time. Was he held the ball, he turned a defender, he shot, and he scored. And he did it twice. So
he's the only one he's out of the 3 goals he scored. He's scored all 3.
That's correct. So that's what you need. You need a Sam Adeniran. That's what I'm saying. So You'll have Pirano out there. Hopefully he'll find him, give him service. Pirano can turn and put him back in the net. So, and one of the big things that is going to be key, and I know it's very cliche, but the first goal is going to be the most important thing to get. So definitely need to get that first goal.
Possession wise, this is the thing that I think for San Antonio, Oakland's going to control the possession. Both matches they had, both matches they led. The 1-1 draw in San Antonio was actually closer, 48-53. But out in Oakland, where I thought we dominated the
we
match.
Were chasing. They scored first in that, so we're gonna possess more because we're trying to chase that game. But out in Oakland, it was
64-36. But yet we still outshot them,
because they were chasing. Correct.
Yeah,
that's kind of where it all depends. And it's both teams. This is the thing. Both teams do not want to possess. They don't. SAFC wants to be very direct. They don't really care too much about possession. And Oakland is going to be back in that 5-4-1. They don't want to possess either. So it's going to kind of be a default who possesses. And what's going to happen is whoever scores first, the opposite team is going to have to chase. So they're going to possess more. So each team doesn't really want to possess.
Frozen.
So
you good, Roy?
How bad did I go out? No.
You said each team will possess, and then
nice, and then I got possessed because of Halloween, right? No, each team doesn't want to possess. Each team does not want to possess, and it depends on who scores first. Whoever scores first, that opposite team is going to have the majority of the possession because they're going to be chasing the game. The biggest thing for SAFC, it's going to be that first goal because you do not want to go to penalties, and that's what Oakland is going to play for is penalties. So
yeah. Your thoughts on? I know we don't normally do predictions, so we won't do predictions. But your thoughts on Marcina possibly going with, because he does have two lineups. He has one that's a little bit more attacking, and then he has one that's a little bit more defensive. Do you think he goes more attacking at the start, or because this match is something that could go 120 minutes PKs? Do you think he starts out, kind of like a heavyweight match and just kind of feel each other out, or do you think San Antonio tries to go for the knockout punch first?
Definitely not. And the reason being, Marcina kind of experimenting late in the season by putting, just one center defensive mid, so either Abu or PC in, and then he would have Pirano and Loera start, and that didn't work too well. The couple times that we saw it didn't work with the system. So we definitely need to have PC and Abu back as a double pivot, and then we'll have one kind of midfield forward. So we definitely. I don't think in this playoff run we see that offensive lineup, and that's just because we tried it. It was a little vulnerable, and against teams like this that are going to counter, you don't want to do that. So I think we're going to see the typical lineup, the typical 3-5, 3-5, 3-5-2, 3-4-3. That's kind of what we're going to.
I say the 3-4-3.
Yeah.
Here is an interesting thing. Checked pro referees. They've already assigned the referee, which is Elvis Osmanovic. He's the referee that did the Sac Republic New Mexico United match last round. But he is also the same match that called the San Antonio FC Oakland match in September, which 5 yellow cards were issued on there. So it'll be interesting. He also refereed the San Antonio Colorado Springs 1-0 match, gave 7 yellow cards to 5 through there. So he has refereed San Antonio twice, one specifically the Oakland Roots San Antonio match. So both teams should be fairly should know how he calls a game along those lines. And from my understanding and just looking at it here, it looks like he's got a pretty good averages, looks like about 4 cards a game for that here. So that will be interesting. Robert said Royce is glitching like Max Headroom. So thank you, Royce.
Nice.
So just looking at the playoffs here in general for that here. The other match, Colorado Springs took out RGV in a 3-0 match here, which it was 0-0 till late. I will say RGV a little bit unlucky because Tyler Derrick took a knee to the head. In my opinion, should have been a
straight red. There should have been a straight red on a Mo for sure.
Was given a yellow. I don't know if it. Obviously, if you get a red, because that was in the first half, that changes things. You go to a backup keeper. Their backup keeper's quality, but
I was going to say they knocked out their starting keeper. That's a big change, and it was done because a guy went in on the keeper and kneed him in the head. Like, that's a straight red. That's what we're talking about.
Straight red.
So the other match, SAC, New Mexico. Out of all the playoff matches in the first round, I have nothing to comment on it because it was SAC in New Mexico. It went how you thought it was going to be. Memphis, Detroit, 3-1 Memphis. It was late. Detroit got the early goal. Memphis came back and showed their quality. Tampa, Miami. Tampa won the derby there, 3-1. And to me, the match of the weekend for USL Championship, Birmingham, Pittsburgh.
That was a fun one.
2-2, went to PKs. 7-8, and what was odd about it is Birmingham missed their first 2 PKs, and Pittsburgh let them back in by missing their last 2.
It was exciting. If nothing, it was exciting. And just as a reminder, it was 1-1 going in added time, and then both teams scored in added time, and then it went to penalty. So it was an exciting game, and Lily Ball won it in the end. So.
Pittsburgh, Louisville. Fun fact: Louisville's been in the conference finals, and every year they've been in the league.
Every year they've been in the league. That's nuts. Yep.
And odds are they'll be in the conference finals again. To me, I think the match to watch is Memphis Tampa. I undervalue Memphis. It is playing on the baseball field. Tampa is starting to warm up and look like the Rowdies of the last couple of years. So that will be an interesting 2-3 matchup. Out west, Colorado Springs, Sacramento in Colorado Springs. Surprisingly, I think most people are still picking Sacramento, still sleeping on Colorado Springs. And we saw how the chip on their shoulder went. And let's not forget, Colorado Springs has defeated Sacramento earlier this year by a pretty convincing score. So playoffs are shaping up. Those matches outside of the San Antonio match, which is Friday, the others are all on Saturday within an hour of each other kickoff. So you got Louisville, Pittsburgh kicking off at 6:30, Colorado kicking off with Sacramento at 7, and then Memphis and Tampa Bay at 7:30. For me, if I was USL, I would kind of spread it out a little bit more, but it's USL lower league, and we want to get the best that we can for that here. So one factor that I'm going to ask both you, Matt, and Royce. San Antonio's been off, 2 weeks? Oakland played Sunday late, traveled, plays Friday. An advantage, disadvantage for either team, because there's people that feel, hey, having that week off can hurt. But we've all have seen short turnarounds and how that can impact players.
I mean, through some of the posts that I was looking at on Twitter and Instagram, it seems like they kept each other in line. I mean, it's either play like you're practice like you're playing, or just relax. And these guys do not relax one bit. That's how we stay mentality monsters. So I'm pretty sure they went all in the whole week on practicing, and of course, yeah, you get your relaxed day, but I'm pretty sure they kept the foot on the pedal and just floored it.
We've kind of had a preview of this 2-week break in the middle of the summer when SAFC, I guess, didn't do a friendly. They instead took a weekend vacation, which I think was really beneficial for the players. And the game right after that 2 weeks off was a 5-0 win. So I think they'll keep each other in line. They kind of have experience with this, and they know what's at stake. They know to come out firing, and they know not to take anything for granted. So I think they'll, this is the season of mentality monsters, and we'll see them come out firing.
Any final thoughts on the playoffs? We're just going to keep this kind of short and sweet. Unfortunately, as we've seen with Robert and Rafa, and me and Royce have also been dealing with it, Matt as well. Work schedule, work-life, family balance, taking kids to practices, picking them up, that type of stuff. Any final thoughts on either San Antonio, Oakland, or any of the other playoff matches that you want to talk about?
I'm just, man, the tension's been all week, just going to work and just trying to get to Friday. Just clock out, go to sleep to make the day go by faster. Just it's here. It's tomorrow. And then asking my boss today, hey, can I take a half day? Because I got some stuff to do. And he's like, well, what do you got to do? I'm like, I have a doctor's appointment. So if he doesn't watch this, just know it's still a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, with Dr. Farr and Dr. Taintor. No, I'm so psyched.
Actually, Dr. Robert.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. I'm so psyched. Let's go. It's playoffs. We've been looking forward to this entire season. Yeah, and it's revenge time. We need to remember that awful feeling that we had in OC. And we got to avenge that. We got to be like the 2013 versus the 2014 versus 2013 Spurs. And you were that close. You were that close. Remember this feeling? Come back, finish it. Finish the fight.
One comment from Rafa. He thinks a 5-3-2 formation with Manley as a winger to play as a false forward defender to stop counters on the wing. So, any thoughts on that, either Matt or Royce?
I can see that.
Maybe, but I don't see Manley as a winger. You're going to have Shannon up there. Shannon's going to provide the pace, and you're going to have Fabian or Manley take care of. Or I'm guessing it's going to be Fabian taking care of the defensive responsibilities and having Abu or PC kind of cheat over a little bit. And you're going to have Pirano there to try to take care of some of that. So maybe that's what he does. Maybe Marcina goes a little conservative and only has. Like we said, probably JD and Sam up top, but we'll see.
Final thoughts, Matt. What's your final thought for tomorrow? What kind of expectations do you have going on in the bunker tomorrow?
Checking that Ticketmaster, seeing how much has been sold. I just want that bunker to be loud tomorrow. That's all I want. I need that bunker to be loud. They call us out in 3 different videos. The bunker needs to be loud tomorrow.
Royce, your final thoughts?
I'm just like, let's go. I can't wait. 24 hours. Well, now 23 and a half hours. Let's go. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this. This is the moment. Let's go.
So I got 2 final thoughts. Number 1, show up tomorrow. Be ready. Be loud. However, we saw this in 2 matches this weekend. Don't be throwing stuff on the pitch. It happened in Birmingham, happened in San Diego. It's a bad look. No matter what happens, good or bad, don't be that person that's throwing stuff on the pitch. Number two, go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, but go out and vote. If you want change to happen, the only way you can make it happen is by going out and voting, and also double check your ballots, because unfortunately there has been reports of what you voted for not necessarily appearing on your ballot.
That's why they give you that paper ballot. Check your paper ballot. That's the one that counts. It doesn't matter what the computer says. Look at your paper ballot. It'll tell you who you voted for. So I have 3 things. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Completely spaced. Get to the game early. There's also going to be a high school football match. Yeah, there's going to be a high school football game going on at the same time that people are going to get there for the soccer game. So get there early to make sure you get parking. Number 2, wear black. We're blacking out Toyota Field. And number 3, be loud, and also go vote.
Nothing extra for you, Matt. You're kind of glitching like Roy, with Max Headroom per Robert here earlier here. Any final thoughts that you had outside of what you were saying as far as for the bunker to be loud and
I stick to my word. I want to be loud tomorrow. I want to make sure I can't talk on Monday.
So that's it, guys. It's a short show. Like I said here, we'll depending on how the result goes on tomorrow night. I have an idea maybe to try to get together and do something Saturday, during the Colorado Springs Sacramento match, kind of maybe do a review on us and kind of, discuss that Colorado Springs Sacramento match. If results don't go our way, I'm not sure I'll do that, for that here, just being upset or just being honest. May need longer than one day to recover.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Don't want to be speaking on a public forum if that happens. Absolutely.
So, but like I said, unfortunately, with my job and the kids both playing soccer, Royce with his kids playing, Rafa's seems like it's that time of the year where he's out on the road all the time. Our schedule, unfortunately, is a little not consistent. We'll just leave it at that, but we'll try to get one out. Robert says start drinking at noon. I got to be able to drive to the match, Robert. So I can't start.
Some of us are adults.
Hey, that's a prescription. That's my prescription.
Some of us are adults. Let's maybe a beer at the game. So,
couple beers at the game safely, but.
Get
there
Uber,
at 6.
Uber. That's another thing. If you do find yourself in an inebriated state, take an Uber. Not worth it. Take an Uber.
I'll probably be his Uber. So let's see where it goes.
So, but thank you for everybody tuning in, and thank you for everybody that listens on there. Let's not pull an RGV and be one and done. Let's continue and on with this march for this year, and let's see if
finish
we can
the fight.
Let's see what we can do and be playing on November 13th. But for that here, so hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you for tuning in.
Finish the fight. Let's go.